cameras painted it as a perfect world, a smiling mother, her talented children, and a colorful tour bus filled with music and laughter. But behind the set of the Partridge Family, the truth was far more complicated. In the early 1970s, millions of Americans tuned in each week to watch Shirley Jones play the widowed matriarch who led her on-screen family with warmth, humor, and grace. It was television comfort food, catchy songs, wholesome lessons, and a dreamlike optimism. But while viewers saw harmony, Shirley was beginning to feel the quiet pull of something else: change. When the series first premiered in 1970, it felt like lightning in a bottle. Cast clicked instantly. Shirley, already an Academy Award-winning actress with a rich background in music, was a natural fit. Beside her were fresh young talents like Susan Dey, Danny Bonaduce, and David Cassidy, whose boyish charm and magnetic stage presence would soon catapult him into superstardom. The early days were golden. Between takes, the set buzzed with laughter. Rehearsals for the musical numbers, though demanding, felt rewarding. It was a true ensemble show, with each character contributing to the heart of the series. And the music didn't just stay on screen. I Think I Love You shot to #1, and the cast suddenly found themselves moonlighting as pop stars, performing for sold-out crowds and signing mountains of fan mail. But fame has a way of shifting the ground beneath your feet. As the ratings soared, Shirley noticed subtle changes. Storylines that once celebrated the entire family began tilting toward a single character, Keith Partridge, played by David Cassidy. What started as a small emphasis soon became the show's centerpiece. For the network, it was smart business. David was a marketing goldmine, magazine covers, packed concerts, and merchandise flying off shelves. For Shirley, it was a warning sign. She adored David and was fiercely protective of him, but she worried that the balance of the show and the well-being of its cast was being lost to a single spotlight. Do you think shows should stick to their original ensemble vision even when one star becomes the breakout favorite? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. As the seasons rolled on, the imbalance grew more pronounced. Scripts gave Shirley fewer lines, often reducing her to brief moments of motherly advice before handing the scene back to David's character. The rich family dynamic that had once defined the series was slipping away, replaced by predictable plots about Keith's love life and music career. Behind the scenes, the pressure was relentless. Filming schedules were squeezed around David's concert tours and recording sessions. Exhaustion became the norm, and Shirley could see the toll it was taking, not just on herself but especially on David. He was living two lives at once, the fictional teen idol on screen and the real-life teen idol off it. There was little room for rest, privacy, or personal growth. The once light-hearted atmosphere began to feel heavy. Younger cast members like Susan Dey and Danny Bonaduce felt sidelined, their storylines reduced or cut entirely. Creative conversations gave way to discussions about marketing and merchandise. The soul of the series, the feeling that they were telling a story about a family, was fading. By the fourth season, Shirley's patience was wearing thin. She had spent her career choosing roles with depth and meaning, and the Partridge Family no longer offered that. When she tried suggesting ways to restore balance to the scripts, she was met with polite dismissal. The network believed the formula was working. To Shirley, that formula was hollowing out the very thing fans had fallen in love with. For her, the decision became clear. When her contract ended, she wouldn't return. It wasn't an angry walkout, it was a quiet act of self-respect. She knew staying meant sacrificing her own creative integrity, and that wasn't a price she was willing to pay. What she didn't realize at the time was that David Cassidy was coming to the same conclusion. The demands of being a teen idol had worn him down. He longed for roles that challenged him, for a career that wasn't dictated by a character he'd outgrown. Privately, he and Shirley shared their frustrations. Both loved what the show had been, but both knew it was time to move on. When Shirley's departure was announced, the atmosphere on set shifted. She had been the show's emotional anchor, both on and off screen. Without her, the Partridge Family would lose not just its mother figure but a stabilizing force behind the scenes. And when David soon followed, the loss was too great to recover from. The network considered continuing with replacements, but it was pointless. The magic of the Partridge Family wasn't just in the scripts or the songs, it was in the chemistry of the original cast. Without its heart and its breakout star, the show quietly came to an end after its fourth season. Looking back, Shirley felt no regret. She remained proud of what they had created in those early years, the joy, the music, the connection with fans. She stayed close to many of her castmates, including David, and cherished the bond they'd formed under extraordinary circumstances. Leaving had given her something priceless: freedom. She returned to the stage, took on new film and television roles, and embraced characters that challenged her. Audiences who had once known her only as the gentle TV mom were surprised and impressed to see her tackle edgier, more complex performances. In interviews, she spoke often about the importance of knowing your worth. Her advice to younger actors was simple but powerful: protect your creative integrity and never be afraid to walk away when something no longer serves you. Now at 91, Shirley talks about her decision with the clarity of time. Partridge Family remains a beloved chapter in her life, but it was just that, a chapter. By leaving when she did, she preserved the best of it, ensuring that fans would remember the show at its brightest rather than watching it fade. For Shirley Jones, the end of the Partridge Family wasn't the end at all. It was the turning of a page. Proof that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is step away before someone else writes the ending for you.